I'm just like anybody else. I'm someone's daughter, a sister, could be a mum. You'd walk past me in the street and not think twice. But if you could see inside me, if you could only see. Smallish house, suburban. Some people call it nice. I had a nice garden. I used to spend hours out there. There's me, my mum, my dad, my brother and my sister. It was never happy families.
Jenny was the youngest. I had tricky births with the other two. We had our careers by then, which was good. It meant we had a nice house, holidays, etc. I suppose that's why there was a 6-year gap.
I always felt different, like there was some secret ingredient I was missing and everybody else knew what it was but wouldn't tell me. I might think it'd be nice to be different, but it was a nightmare.
That thing with the boy was just so embarrassing. I just didn't know what I could say. In a way, I think I blamed her. Well, no, I didn't blame her. But she was drunk. She was supposed to come home. And I could just never find a time to talk to her about it. And I just thought it would be very upsetting for her.
I was 15 and I told myself it was okay because the boy was drunk. I even persuaded myself we hadn't actually had sex, but we had. And it starts to consume you and slowly you start to realise you've been raped.
Derek said it was okay. It's what teenagers did. Drink and experiment with sex and drugs. I didn't agree with that. Not completely.
I started cut myself, self-harm, take little overdoses. I was diagnosed with depression and a personality disorder. What's a personality disorder? That must mean everything about me, the real me, is a complete fuck-up. And your personality, that's you. If that's fucked up, what have you got?
Marrying that Barry was never good for her. All she wanted was a good husband and a chance to start a family. All he wanted and was interested in was his horses and chasing after young girls. She just couldn't see it. What she saw in a man his age when she was so pretty, I could just never understand.
I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't breathe. Especially when he told me that my moods made it like living with all these different people. I know that's connected with me getting knocked down by that car. I still see it. When I'm asleep. When I'm awake.
I don't do emotions. I know that. It's always been like that in my family. Over time, I realised how angry Jenny was, and it scared me.
There were a whole lot of problems. She seemed very ambivalent from the start. She didn't want medication, she missed appointments. I mean, to be honest, a lot of it came across as very PD until we really got to grips with the full extent of what was going on. And it didn't help that she was diagnosed as PD the last time she came into contact with services.
The weird thing was, I don't know if I saw the car at the time or if I just remember it hitting me. It was like a dream, but I'm not sure if it was my dream or someone else's. Does that make sense? The doctor said I was okay, that I was lucky to be alive, but they still can't explain the back pain. I can't sit comfortably, I can't sleep. Even my appetite's gone. I'm sure Dad thinks I'm just after compensation. This is just me messing up again.
When she was seeing the mental health people, I got her to take me along to meet them. But nothing seemed to be working. If she missed an appointment, no one seemed that bothered. Oh, they'd just write to her and offer another one. Right. How much time was wasted writing to her and then waiting for her to get back in touch? I could see that she was slipping away.
Obviously, it's easy to criticise. And with hindsight, I can see things. I mean, there are some things we could have done differently. Look, it's difficult to explain the need to balance patient confidentiality and taking relatives and carers seriously. I mean, we're also in a double bind when a patient is asking for help 1 minute and then saying they're okay the next. I mean, that was the case with Jenny. I mean, she sought help, but then would tell her key worker she was on top of things, and we had to accept that.
I know about depression. Jenny doesn't know, I never told her. But I was depressed after Charlotte was born. Very badly. My mother had been depressed when I was a girl. She's always been a very anxious woman. We've never spoken about it. What is there to say?
When we got an idea that Jenny was deteriorating, we still hoped we could engage with her rather than sectioning her. I mean, everyone knows that's the preferred option, but we didn't know what's going to happen, did we? The last time she was assessed, it was thought she was low risk.
And Jenny's just arrived. It's the third admission today. The duty doctor is with her now, but I have no idea when I'm actually going to get to see her.
How did I end up here? I feel like I'm slipping away from myself, piece by piece. I just want to be dead. This is like being in hell.
Most of what we did, I think we got right. From a patient's perspective, it might seem difficult, but we didn't lose contact. We kept persevering, thinking and listening. But in the end, we had to do what we had to do.
I just want to keep her safe overnight. That's our priority right now.
They sectioned me. I should be dead. No one would care. None of it matters.
I've just received a lovely letter from Jenny, and it's completely unexpected.
Sorry, you haven't seen the partnership order, have you?
Is this it? Yep. Okay. Shall I read it? Okay. Dear Sarah, it's 11 o'clock at night, but I've been meaning to drop you a line for days now. And don't worry, I'm sleeping okay.
I'm sleeping okay, but if I don't do it now, another week will go by. I'm busy these days. And guess what? No drinking or drugs to get me through. I can hear your disbelief, Sarah. Hot chocolate's my limit now, honest. I hope you and your family are okay. I often think about you and the nurses on the ward. I still see Dr. Fernandez every month, and some of the team will be at my next CPA, but I suppose I miss you. And I never said what your help meant to me when I left the ward. Can't believe that was 4 months ago. A lot's happened. Most of it good, though. Do you remember helping me apply for that charity job? I had an interview 6 weeks after my discharge from hospital and got the job. I've been there 4 weeks now. I'm settling in. I still worry that people can tell I've been ill, but I use the techniques you showed me to deal with that. I'm making some new friends. I hope I am. And I'm more positive about life. It's still painful looking back. I really hated you for making me talk about things, and I still have to force myself to remember taking that overdose. How desperate I was. To think I wanted to end my life. I felt completely useless, trapped, going in circles, that it would be better for everybody if I was dead. I won't forget you asking me, did I want to die? So matter of fact. And realising not being able to stand that terrible pain any longer wasn't the same as wanting to be dead. You'll be pleased to know my mum and I are getting on much better, and I might go walking in Spain in the summer with some old college friends. Something to look forward to, maybe. That health stuff you got me on did make a difference. How's your running going? Are you still keeping it up? Mind you, I'll bet your 2 young ones keep you on your toes. I'd like to have a child one day. Who knows? Life feels better. I've got a purpose, and I know I have a right to be me. I'm trying to like me. I sometimes hear you saying, be yourself, say what you want. I am speaking up more for myself. I'm even beginning to believe what you always said about not being able to change the past, and that the stuff that happened wasn't my fault. I was only a child, wasn't I? I remember coming into hospital. That bedroom door closed and I felt so lost, so alone. None of the nurses seemed to really care about me. They were always too busy or dealing with louder people. I would have killed myself if I could have. You were different. I don't know how best to describe it, but as soon as I met you, I knew you cared about your work. Maybe it was in your eyes. Once, you told this other nurse you wouldn't take a phone call because you were with me, and apologised for the interruption.
I'll take the call later. I'm speaking to Jenny now.
I remember those things. They meant a lot. Do you remember me bawling my head off all those times? You sat with me, didn't judge me. Even when I said I wanted to kill myself, you just listened to me. I mean, really listened. Those care plans you used, I didn't get it at first, but they became little stepping stones to help me. Even though I was sectioned, they gave me a sense of control, of achievement. I still have the diary you suggested for scribbling feelings and thoughts, though I must admit I use it less often. I have to say sorry as well.
Jenny!
Shut up! You're not to me. Just fuck off and leave me alone.
I know I could be really horrible, shouting at you when you wouldn't give in to me, and storming out when you challenged my negative thoughts again. But you never panicked. You were always so gentle, and you helped me calm down and think about things. And when things did go wrong, like you couldn't meet as you'd arranged, or there was a problem, you'd explain. I remember you saying, Sometimes we have to deal with disappointments and accept things even when we don't like them. When you'd say goodbye before going off duty and knowing when you were next working, those sorts of little things made me feel safer. Anyway, my care coordinator is great. He's a man, not bad looking, which is nice. He visited me the day after my discharge and now catches up with me every fortnight. Even though he obviously knew loads about me, he let me tell him my story and I felt he really listened. He's also been great with stuff like my money problems.
Sorry about twittering on. I just wanted to say thanks, really. And I really mean it, though. Love from Jenny.